Evening, everyone. Been a while since I threw anything on YouTube, and to my two subscribers, I'm sorry, I guess. I've let my fan base down. Anyway, last time I posted, Aiden and I, my son, we were taking my '77 Chrysler Cordoba for a rip that I had got given to me last January, a year ago now. She was a good car, big, really big, actually, a foot longer than my little tiny garage here. It actually would have stuck out of the garage door here about a foot. 360 loaded, except for the soft Corinthian leather. Not a big deal. I'm not a leather fan anyway. But as you'll notice, this is not my 1977 Chrysler Cordoba. This is my 1977 Mustang 2. Let the Pinto comments begin. I can almost hear them now. Anyway, not going to dwell on that. Yeah, share some stuff with the Pinto. Big deal. Got this for $670 back in late August, I believe it was. I'm actually having trouble remembering the date. I believe it was late August. Maybe the first week of September. But anyway, not a bad little car. It looks better than it actually is. The nicest part of this car is the new windshield, unfortunately, and it's got new tires on it. That's about it. That, and I guess it does have the 302. It doesn't have the 4-cylinder or the 2.8 V6. It has got the 302 V8, which is a great little engine from Ford. They built the Windsor blocks for a long, long time, and you can get a ton of goodies for them. There's almost as many, actually there probably just is as many goodies for the 302 as there is for, say, a small block Chev. And around the same price too. I mean, you get into the small block Mopars, you get into the AMC engines, anything like that, and performance goodies seem to go up in price, but not the 302s. They seem to stay around the same price as the small block Chev, and you can get a ton of power out of the 302. Anyway, yeah, 77, this is the Ghia model of the Mustang 2. You'll notice I ripped the vinyl roof off because I hate vinyl, and really haven't gone much past there because I've been busy this winter so far. But anyway, the Ghia has got this little opera window here. You can actually see where a regular coupe window would be. They just kind of made this adapter plug for it and shoved her in there. When I'm done, it will look like the coupe, though, because I do not like that little teeny tiny opera window. I think it's kind of hideous. But anyway, pros and cons about this car. Pro, it is very light. This car only weighs about 2,800 pounds or so. It's got the 302. It is a little four-seater, very lightweight, little console shift automatic, which I just love. Wood grain everywhere. For some reason, people that owned it one time put in two aftermarket gauges above the stock ones and didn't bother hooking them up. I don't know. It's probably the same guy that put in an electric fuel pump when the mechanical one works just fine. Anyway, cons. Brakes are shot. I think it's the master cylinder. Not a huge deal. Rust under the vinyl roof. Again, mostly surface. Not a huge deal. She's not too rusty underneath, actually, which is quite surprising. I mean, subframe-wise, unfortunately, the floors are rusty. The driver's side floor has actually got a hole right through it, and it was shoddily patched with what looks like running board, like a chunk of old running board. Passenger side, not as gone as the driver's side, but it still will need replaced. The rockers are shot. I'll get down here a little bit. They look fine. They actually look really good, the rockers. Unfortunately, they're mostly fiberglass. Somebody did a pretty good job of hiding some damage on this thing. The doors have been refitted very badly. I'm thinking the doors were rusty too, because the inside of the doors are... inside of the doors are silver, whereas this car is definitely originally red. It's got this second paint job over it, which was done with a roller, it looks like, in most spots. And the worst part about the car, and it's nothing not fixable. Everything on this car that's damaged is fixable, but you'll notice all the lovely Bondo. At some parts, like right here, this Bondo's up to half an inch thick in spots. And if you look really closely, that's a rivet, and that's a seam, and that's brazing, and then they riveted there for some ungodly known reason. Another seam here. What it looks like has happened is either they were hit. It was hitting the quarters in both quarters because I found Bondo on both sides. The most likely scenario is that it was rusty. So instead of doing it properly and cutting out the old quarters, or even just the rusty parts, they bought new quarters and placed them over the old shitty ones and riveted them on. Great job. Thanks for leaving me your shit mess to clean up. Anyway, not too sure which way I'm going to go with the car yet. I know it is going to get the 5 lug conversion from the little 13-inch donuts on it. I'm going to throw some goodies at the 302, the usual intake, which is actually sitting over there. A little 500 CFM carb, because it's a 302. It doesn't need a huge bloody carb on it. All it does is waste gas and move the power band way up in the RPM range. Going to throw a mild cam at it, do some head work, nothing huge. I'd like to throw headers at it, but the headers for these things are a really stupid design. One of the tubes actually goes underneath the front cross member, so it'll get flattened the first time you hit a bloody pothole. So might just hog out the original manifolds on it, or find 351 manifolds, because they're going to be a bit bigger, and then a single 3-inch exhaust. Everybody's like, oh, go dual 3-inch, and it'll sound great. Yeah, it'll sound great, but it'll just rob power. Single 3-inch is plenty for any mild small block, or dual 2.5-inch, or even dual 2.25-inch should be fine for this car. But I like the sound of a 3-inch exhaust, and single 3-inch, like I said, is just plenty. Anyway, before paint wise, gunmetal gray, I'm thinking, and then leave the red interior because it's snazzy. Just clean it up a bit. Different steering wheel too. The stalkers are kind of yucky. Anyway, you're wondering, or you're not wondering, where the Cordoba went. We went on vacation. When did we go on vacation? Middle of July, I believe it was, the 13th, I want to say. We went out to BC for a week, and we got back. And a couple nights after we got back, actually I think it was the day after we got back, Aiden and I were really excited. We went out to the Cordoba to get it ready to come home, because it was ready to come home. You could have driven that thing home. The last video I posted, I should have just kept going. I really should have. Because we got out to the Cordoba when we got back from vacation, and the bloody thing had been stolen. Somebody had come into my friend's farm yard, which is across the road from his house, loaded it up onto a trailer and took off. And he saw the person doing it, and unfortunately he thought it was me coming to pick the thing up and take it home finally after, 7 months after he gave it to me. Unfortunately, it wasn't me. It was a guy that had talked to my friend in May and was promptly told no, he could not have the car. It was already given to somebody. But he decided to take it anyway, and in, middle of August, the car was found by another friend, and it had been used in a demo derby in Coaldale. So, needless to say, there wasn't much left of poor old Bertha there. She was done. She was gone. And I really miss that car. I miss that car a lot, actually. Oddly enough, I dream about the old girl. She was a good old car. I really do miss it. This was my wife's present to me after after the Cordoba got stole, because she felt bad. She thought that she was the reason why I didn't bring it home, because she didn't want it home. But that wasn't the reason I didn't bring her home. One of the reasons I didn't bring it home is because it doesn't fit in my bloody garage, or it wouldn't have fit in my garage. Anyway, no big deal. I will have another Cordoba someday. If this thing just pisses me off too much, I'll just say to hell with it and get another Cordoba. I know where there's a few sitting. Anyway, yeah, there she is. This is the new project. 77 Mustang 2. Oh, just reach down here. This is really quick. This is already a 10-minute long video, for God's sake. Holy hell. I can sure jabber on. God, I'm still not familiar enough with this thing to find out where the hood release is. There she is. Alrighty, there we go. 302, nothing special. Actually runs really good. Right now it doesn't run at all because the starter decided to crap out. Which is no big deal. I've got one sitting in the house for it. So, a lot of just cosmetic underneath here. I mean, I don't know. Somebody tore all the wiring apart, so I got it back to... Oh, God, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Somebody got it back. I got it back together as best I could, but I don't know. The people that own this car before me were... they were special. That's for damn sure. But, yeah, there we go. There's the new project car. I've been sitting on it now for a few months after I've driven it a couple of times. Nothing too great. It's kind of hard to drive it when the brakes don't work. But I'm getting more and more enthused about it the farther we get through winter. I know it's only early January right now, but it's not that cold at all. I mean, I could work out here comfortably right now and not feel too cold in my hoodie here. But need to get working on this thing because I want to have her on the road by summer. Take her up to Street Machine Weekend in Lethbridge there. Have all the people yell at me, "Hey, nice Pinto! You've put a 302 in your Pinto." Yeah, fuck off. Anyway. So there we go. To my 2 subscribers, sorry for no videos for a while. You are the biggest and best fans in the world. Alright. More to come on this little red beast here.